Hey guys, and welcome to Wallbangs for Dust 2. Now, Dust 2 actually doesn't have that many things that you can wallbang, surprisingly, but there are a couple interesting ones. So let's hop right into it. First and foremost, all of these telephone poles you can wallbang with an AK, M4, or, of course, an AWP. And these little chest-high wall things right here, you cannot wallbang with the rifles, except for the AWP. It stops like 3/4 of the way through, about. And just to show you, yeah, you can shoot it with the AWP and it will go through. It does 64 damage. Nothing amazing, but hey, it's better than nothing. These barrels, of course, that's what the other maps that they are on, where my AWP go. You can't shoot through them with the AK, and I don't think even the AWP. No, not even the AWP. They're pretty solid. Pretty solid. Not even at any different angles. It just stops immediately when they hit them. These big brown boxes, you can't really shoot through with the AK. You can a little bit with the AWP, not too much damage done though. These metal poles, with the AWP definitely, AK even, so same thing with the wooden poles. Doesn't do as much damage with the AK if you shoot through the metal ones, but I think this is the only one on the map that's metal. And of course these boxes are spammable with the AK. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but hey, it's something. I'm gonna get to these boxes, these, I don't even know what these are, oranges? These orange box thingies here pretty quickly in the other side, but of course these carts you can wallbang with pretty much anything, does a good amount of damage. These pillars you cannot wallbang with the AK, but you can with the AWP. It does a decent amount of damage, surprisingly. 31, not too shabby. Wish that buy menu would stop opening, that'd be pretty neat. As we come into B site here, this you cannot wallbang with the AK. However, with the AWP it does a little bit of damage. Well, it shows an impact against the wall, but let's try that again. There we go, it does 2 damage. So nothing really worthwhile. Perhaps if you go like that you can do more damage. Yeah, 49, 54. So that's pretty good. And of course this box spammable with the AWP, not with the AK. Where'd my AK go? As you can see, it stops about halfway through. And again, these things you can sort of shoot through. Now, the reason I sort of waited to test these boxes, or show these boxes, is because they're kind of weird. If you look right here, you can pretty easily shoot through them. However, if you look at a thicker part of it, where there's 2, 3, 4 boxes, 3, you can't. So it's a very weird sort of thing to spam. Again, it stops like 3/4 of the way through if you shoot right there. But if you shoot through, I guess the thinner part where that little missing box is, it goes right through. So it's kind of a weird thing, high risk, high reward sort of wallbang. If someone's crouching behind it, you know, make sure you spam that spot right there where there's only one box. Otherwise, you're not going to be getting too far. What? Unless you aim at the cracks, I guess? So I'm learning something new myself. If you aim at the cracks, it goes through. So that's interesting. So just keep that in mind. And of course, with the AWP, it's significantly, well, more suited to be wallbanged. And again, more of the same. The car, I hate these kind of things. You can wallbang certain spots of it, like these little parts right here, but it does do a lot of damage, considering the material. And rip Dust 2 doors. Horrible, horrible penetration on them for AKs and other rifles. The AWP, it does do enough damage to bring them down to like, I think, 30 or 40 HP. Yeah, it does 74 damage, is that what that says? So it's, you know, rip Dust 2 doors again. It's not the greatest thing with an AK. No point in even spamming it really with an AK. As you saw, it did like 7 damage. And these bigger brown boxes, again, with the AWP only, can you wallbang them? But these smaller ones, yes, you can wallbang with an AK. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything here. This isn't really a wallbang, but it is an interesting spot nonetheless. There's a little gap here. I don't know how many people know about this. Most people should, but for those of you that aren't aware, there's a little gap right here. You can kind of peek through with the AWP. Same thing if you're just standing on site here. You can kind of crouch and look through it. And then kind of wallbang through it. And this one you may or may not find extremely interesting, depending on where you're standing here. in either CT spawn or cat. You can shoot through it, but it only does about 2 damage. If we go into here, 2 damage. Not really worthwhile at all. I don't know, perhaps if you think someone's up there and they have 2 HP left, 1 HP left. And again, it's just certain spots. As you can see, a lot of them just stop there, right there. It does go through, so... Again, certain spots, my mouse just freaked out, sorry about that. Certain spots, you can wallbang through cat. Again, not really any point to it, but... I don't know, maybe you'll get lucky with it someday and it will do something good. Who knows? Again, these little chest-high walls, the telephone poles. These big boxes back here, actually. No point in spamming it unless you're, like, right over here, then it will go through, but... Again, don't try to shoot through them. If you're trying to pick mid and think someone's behind there, no point. You're just wasting your ammo. Even though that's not really a thing these days. Or anyways, unless you have a USP. Of course, these stairs you can wallbang through with the op and with the AK. Let me go grab an AK real quick. Again, if you wallbang the stairs, it only does 8 damage. These baskets you can wallbang with the AK and the op. Doesn't do a ton of damage, again, like most things. These boxes, on site here, you cannot wallbang with the AK. As you see, it stops about halfway through. And with the op, just pretty much goes right through, does a decent amount of damage, I suppose. 37. So if you're trying to pick along and you think someone's behind the box, of course, you know, it might be worthwhile to try and spam them down. If you hit them in the head, obviously that's going to be a lot better, but that's about it for Dust 2. Like I said, not that much to cover here on Dust 2. Not a whole lot of weird things, but hopefully you can make use of some of these things. But as always, thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.